Now, this mainstream media, that's why you see them twisting stories. For example, let me give you a very good example. The governor of Narok hired criminals to come and beat us up. These criminals were not the people of Narok and they were not Maasais. And we made it very clear. We just said these are criminals who were hired. The people of Narok had no problem. But when the thing went to media, media twisted it. Media says a group of angry youth attack. They were not even youth. What was the media trying to do? To show that the youth were disunited. Why? Because the youth have attacked their fellow youth. Therefore, youth are not united. That's mainstream media. All right? That is why we have other media. Right? So let me wrap here now. So I think hii simshapata hii sasa inaweza futa. All right, class. So we are moving nicely. So we've already identified the problem of mainstream media. So now, tunataka tuongelee other media that we can use. One such media is social media. Now, the government doesn't have control of social media because it's millions of people tweeting, Facebooking, Instagramming, and TikToking at the same time. They're not able to control it unless they shut it down. So what do? Now, kwa social media, they've not been able to control Facebook so much, or Instagram, or TikTok. But they've been able to control one. It's called X. There's a team of about 20 youth. Sometimes they are at Mudavadi Center, sometimes they are at KICC. All these 20 youth, each of them has about 30 X accounts. So in total, these 20 people have 600 X accounts. Now, these people, they use these 600 accounts to spread propaganda and spin the narrative in the favor of what they want. One way they can do it is to discredit people who say the truth. For example, if I say the truth about a particular thing, they mark me. Then they look for something very frivolous or some propaganda. Then they use their 600 accounts to make it trend so that a Kenyan like you will not believe what I'm telling you because they are taking away my credibility so that you don't trust me next time I tell you something. But the other media, they have not been able to control it. So this is social media also. We can just call it digital media. Now, there's a lot we can do here because they've only managed to control X, and that's not entirely. It's up to around, they've controlled X up to around 60%. They've been able to deal with it up to 60%. There's so much social media left. There's TikTok, there's FB, there's IG, and there's YouTube and Snapchat and many others. How can you use this to cause change in your family or in your community? You can record a video, you can write something about change, you can post a picture about change. If you're a graphic designer, you can design something and post it on media. It will go viral. That's another way you can do civic education. Another way you can do civic education is organized campaign. Now, organized campaign is where a group of pastors come together and decide to go to Kirinyaga for a campaign to talk about bad governance. They might use a public address system or just meet and greet, just meeting people and talking to them. The way Jehovah's Witness wanafanyanga. A group of doctors can come together and form a group and go to Kitale to do civic education to the people of Kitale about healthcare or about anything else. A group of lawyers, a group of farmers, a group of university campus students. just a group of people, like-minded people. Doesn't have to be many. Mnaweza kuwa watano, 10, ma roommate, ma beshte, ma workmate. You go and do organized campaign for civic education. And it doesn't have to be through Morara or through an NGO or through the government. You can do this on your own. You don't need anybody else. All right? So organized campaign. And many other ways of doing civic education. I can't talk about all of them in one video. Why is civic education important more than the protest? So now, ile swali mmekuwa mkijiuliza ni kwa nini tusiingie street saa hii? Mbona tufanye civic education kwanza ndio tusiingie streets? Let me tell you this. We have two options. One, to wait for 2027 and vote William Ruto out. This thing is very uncertain because Ruto can control IEBC by putting his people there. He can rig the ballot or he can kill opponents. He can do one of these three things and he will remain in power. This extend term. He can do is he can provoke the Kenyan public to do an uprising. So he can provoke Kenyans to do an uprising so that he declares a state of emergency. Hizi ni zile vitu anaweza fanya all to remain in power. He has the money and he has the power. And he has parliament, judiciary, and many other institutions. So he is able to do it. So this 2027 is not a sure bet. We are not even sure whether that election is there. William Ruto. The second option we have, 2 million, 3 million. Without 1 million people and above in the streets, we should not go to the streets. Why? Death without gain. Let me write here. Death without gain. You have complained about the state of healthcare. I have heard you. You have complained about bad governance. You have complained about agriculture. You have complained about all these things. My question is this. Are you willing to do something for change? Or do you just want to be a keyboard warrior always complaining on social media and in small gatherings? Are you ready to do the little? As a government official, are you willing to help? By even just leaking some documents so that Kenyans can know how their money is getting lost. If you're willing to do something small towards this change, then I'm together with you. If you're not willing to do anything towards this, then I'm not with you.